Hello everybody and welcome to Raising Vibrations, and you're with Simon today, and I'm excited to be doing the next month's forecast for everyone, and just basically going to be sharing some of my thoughts and perspective on the upcoming transits, and just giving us a little bit more heads up in terms of what to look out for, how to integrate, and just basically navigate the energy that's coming our way in a way that's less bumpy than what it would be if we were a little bit more unconscious to it. Now, before I go ahead and jump into that, there's a couple of things that I just want to share quickly. Firstly, in the comments below, I really would like it for you to share a little bit about how your last month was, okay? And just kind of, I'm always excited to read the types of experiences that you might have had during your transit. And just an overall, if you feel like if you would like to share, it's not something you have to absolutely do, but I'm always excited to just hear what you guys have to say in terms of your own experience, and maybe it gives a sense of objectivity around how your own transits were occurring. Okay. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was, after doing the first series of forecasts, a lot of souls wrote to me, a lot of people wrote to me, whether in the comments or private email, etc., just asking, should I watch the rising sign? Now, I don't suggest that. I would say that that would also complicate things as well. So if you're really sensitive to your psyche and you really are aware of the dynamics that are taking place for you, then watching your rising sign, so in my case it's Aquarius, I would watch Aquarius and I would watch Scorpio, right? Sun sign Scorpio, rising sign Aquarius. And then finally, I just wanted to let everybody know, on the 8th of January 2017, yes, that is the new year for us who are following the Gregorian calendar, I'm having a webinar, okay? And in the description below is a link to book your place. And the webinar is basically a forecast for the year ahead, and I'll be hosting that for anybody that wishes to join, and just basically talking about the year ahead, looking at the types of dynamics that are going to be taking place, certain transits, etc. And there'll be a questions and answers after that as well. So I'm really excited to be holding that space, and I'm going to put a lot of effort into creating a very nice visual experience for you. So if you want to experience that, like I said, in the description below is a link, and you can go ahead and book your place, okay? All right, everyone. So with that being said, let's jump straight into our sun sign videos and have fun. Hello, my Libra friends, and welcome to your sun sign forecast for 2017 January. And today I'm just going to share with you some of my thoughts, as I said in the introduction, and just give some tips on how to manage this energy going forward. So let's go ahead and look at where the sun is actually sitting for you for this month. So we've got the sun transiting through the constellation Capricorn, and that's the sign Capricorn over there. And Capricorn, this begins around about the 21st of December. So from the 21st of December onwards, up until when sun enters Aquarius, which is the 19th of January, we've got this transit of your fourth house. Okay, so for Libras, the emotional reality is very much highlighted for you for this month, okay? From late December up until late Jan. And emotional realities, emotional conditioning, subconscious patterning around your early childhood, etc., those are the types of dynamics that will come up for you. And these are the experiences that will basically be having questions asked, like how was your nurturing when you were younger? How does that psychology influence the way that you look towards your relationships? How do you respond in relationships where you've got maybe displaced emotions? And just basically trying to heal out and iron out and integrate the more shadowy aspects of your emotional reality. Now, the positive sides, of course, for the sun transit your fourth house is you're going to be finding yourself coming back home. There's a greater need to really go into your body, go into your kind of nurturing capacity, really feel how you're feeling about things, what's important for you when it comes to self-care, etc. And nourishment are really big elements that are associated with this fourth house transit. So this is a time for resting. Okay, great time to rest and catch up on your home and so on and so forth. Now you've also got Pluto transiting this fourth house here, which of course is going to then be highlighted by this month's Sun transit. So this is a really, really big deal for you. From January, from December, late December up until the 19th of January, the emotional sensitivity and empowerment and disempowerment process is going to be amplified because you are going through a fourth house transit with Pluto. And that's a big deal, the Libra constellation. So it's natural for you to find yourself trying to find where you belong in the home, how you experience yourself, what are your traditions. These are big, deeper questions that are going to be playing out for you. And in fact, I've actually seen this in my life with one of Libra that I do know, that this is playing out in a very big way. So again, my suggestions to you for this month is to really just pay attention to the emotional responses that you are giving when things are happening to you. Okay, when people are interacting, like really being careful in those responses so that you can see where there's separation, where you can see where there is emotional disintegration. Okay. Now, again, with that fourth house, with this Pluto transiting here, we've got Mercury there as well, retrograde in the fourth house. Now, I feel Mercury retrograde in the fourth house isn't really going to affect the story as much as it has been in terms of Mercury transiting your second house and third house, right? As you can see there, Sag and Scorpio, because Mercury retrograde always correlates to the finishing up of previous cycles, right? So if we go have a look over here, we've got Mercury moving into Sagittarius on the 4th of January, and we also have Venus enter Pisces on the 3rd of January, which today is that recording. So you see Mercury there in Sag, it's retrograde in your third house. So this is a great opportunity to rethink your core philosophy, rethink your connections, rethink your capacity to be more expressive. And I would feel that the connection between this Mercury retrograde in the third house and Pluto and the Sun's connection would be creating the connection between emotional expression. How do you feel about things, etc. Bringing it all to the surface and really allowing them to be expressed, or unresolved emotions, basically. And as Venus transits your sixth house, naturally speaking, you're going to come into this whole entire cluster of stuff that's happening here. Okay. You got Chiron, you got Mars, you got Neptune, you got the South Node, and you got now Venus joining this whole big party in the sixth house. And that's all about self-improvement. So for you for you Libras, this is a big story around healing your sense of self-worth, healing your sense of competence, and really getting down and dirty around what are the things that you can do in your life that can create massive improvement. So your health, for instance, is something that will come up for you because you would need to look at the way that you make decisions in your life and the routines that you have and how those routines are bringing you emotional joy and satisfaction and nourishment. These are big questions that are being asked for you on not only a transpersonal level because of Neptune and Chiron, but also on a personal level because of Venus and Mars. Okay. So some really, really important stuff here with these symbols over there. And I highly recommend, while Mars is there and while Venus is there, to get stuck into the feelings of where can I become more compassionate to myself? Where can I become more self-forgiving? Where can I become more competent? Where can I become more sort of emotionally, what's the word I'm looking for? Mercury retrograde's got my tongue at the stage, but I'm looking to better myself, but not in a way that creates constant crisis and then creates the idea that you are inadequate. Feelings of inadequacy, feelings of lack, feelings of not worthy enough. That's the stuff that I want to break, and I want you to replace it with every single day I'm going to try a little bit more. Right? That's the story. Okay. Now you've got Jupiter transiting your first house. So of course, a lot of these stories are going to be playing out for you where you're definitely going to have a lot of, Jupiter energy moving into your first house, so you're really reestablishing your core belief systems and philosophies. And this is a time for expansion. This is a time for joy and excitement to come your way, but also taking a little bit of risk in a new direction. Okay. Now let's have a look. We've got Mercury going direct on the 8th of January, which you can see over there. Mercury is now direct on the 8th there. And that's a big deal because now, if I go back a couple of days, you can see there that the moon and Uranus would have just made a connection. And that Uranus-Moon connection would have created the insights that would naturally come from the Mercury story here. In other words, Mercury moving direct, coming from the insights. And so we're dealing with relationships. We're dealing with the nature of how do you connect with relationships? How do you open up with your feelings? Again, because of all of this stuff in your 4th house. And you can see here as Mercury goes direct, the sun and the moon have made a connection. So there's deep emotional mutation that's taking place for you. Now, on the 12th of January, Mercury also enters Capricorn, and we also have a full moon happening in Cancer. And if you can look over here, you've got your moon at 22 degrees, you've got your Jupiter at 22 degrees, you've got your sun at 22 degrees and Uranus at 20 degrees. And this is a huge deal for all of us, okay? The emotional shift that has taken place with Pluto conjunct the sun, which you can see there, Mercury going direct, Venus entering Pisces. This is a huge shift in the collective awareness. And for you guys, this is very, very, very much about your emotional reality. Again, always bringing it back down to the Pluto stuff. So the emotional dynamics, the nature of the home, where do you feel integrated, where do you belong, etc. Those are big, big things that are going to shift for you for this month, okay? And as we begin to then move out of the beginning of January and we move into the 19th of January, we have the sun transit into the early degrees of Aquarius, as you can see there. Sorry, I was just looking at the screen over there. It didn't seem like it's stalled. Anyway, so the sun enters Aquarius and all of a sudden we come out of this emotional complexity, out of this nourishment place, and we move into what is the Libra's 5th house, self-validation, creative self-expression. So as this transit of this sun enters Aquarius, we begin to then feel this need for liberation around what we've been dealing with in December and early parts of January. And so this story that we'll be living for you particularly is around, okay, so here I am, here's my emotional reality, this is where I feel. How do I begin to follow a special destiny? How do I begin to validate myself? How do I begin to express my uniqueness and find out where I belong, etc. Okay, and it's a completely different shift. Now, within 6 days after the sun enters Aquarius, we have a new moon in Aquarius, and just before the new moon, if everybody looks over here on the screen, look at this: Pluto, moon, and Mercury connection just before that new moon. So on about the 25th, 26th of January, there's a huge energetic release that's going to take place regarding emotional reality. So this is a big time for you to really get confrontational on your emotions and release them, whatever it was. And then as that process happens, as the new moon hits in Aquarius there's a completely new different shift, right? This is like you're done with this process. 2016 is completed. And we then begin to prepare for the new cycle where we see things from a different perspective. So January is a big month for everybody. And for you, this is the emotional connection. Okay. Now, on the 28th of Jan, we've got Mars entering Aries, and we've got the moon that's taken place over there. So for you, this is Mars entering your 7th house. And from the 28th onwards up until the end of January, we've got Mars moving through your 7th house of relationship dynamics, okay? And as you can see there, Venus is going to be completing its cycle through the 6th house. So this is very much going to go from emotional, being in your body and being sort of crabby, etc., to coming out and wanting to be social and move out into the world and see your new personality sort of begin to flourish, right? Based on this new self-identity. So exciting times for you, Libras, okay? All right, my friends, thanks very much for listening to me. Don't forget to join the webinar that's happening on the 8th of January when Mercury goes direct. This is a forecast for the whole of 2017 I'm going to be doing. And in the description below is a link to sign up for that, okay? And other than that, have a fantastic week. Speak to you later. Bye.